So in this presentation, we are going to discuss about the I, you, we, this, that words, mainly related with Kannada and comparing with many other languages, whatever is available from the Swadesh lists of different languages, Bantu languages, Semitic languages, Elamite, Sumerian, indo-iranian, indo-aryan, etc. So in Kannada, the words for I, me, self are all these words with dominated by na sound. Just na, the big na means I or me. Similarly, nanu, and also we use anu and tanu. Tanu is mainly used in a third person self manner. So these are the words that we use for I, me, and self in Kannada. And the word or the sound na is related with the same meaning I in Korean as na. And Korean belongs to this Altaic language family. And also we find similar words, similar sounds in Bantu languages. For example, in Lozi, na or I is called as na or ni. And in Douala, na. In Soto, na. And in Yao, ne. So these are pretty close words. There may be many other words where the sounds are similar but the meanings may be different. For example, in Sumerian, na means just an adult male or man. So we can do such comparisons, and so we see that Kannada, the word na is related to many other languages with the same sound and the same meaning. Then we find that this word anu also has many related sounds in different languages. For example, it could be related to the Sanskrit aham, and it may be more closely related to this Middle Persian word an, which also means I. So these are the indo-iranian family. And also it's related with the Semitic languages like Arabic ana and Hebrew ani. These are all meaning I or me. And Akkadian anaku. So this Akkadian anaku is pretty close to Tamil enaku and unaku. So in Tamil, to me means enaku and to you means unaku. And this enaku is pretty close to the Kannada word to me, which means enage. So this anu is related to a bunch of other languages, Indo-Iranian and Semitic, and maybe other languages also. And even this tanu is related to some Sanskrit words like tanu, which according to Indian epigraphical glossary, it means self. In Kannada, it's more used in the self in the third person. In Sanskrit, tanu is roughly refers to self or one's own. It also refers to body, but it is used in the sense of self or one's own, and also it represents number one in some places. So we find that these relationships with Kannada with other languages show that possibly Kannada is the brother of all the languages in the world. It is related to Bantu languages, Indo-Iranian languages, Semitic language, Korean, and many others. Now let's move on to the word you. In English, you, and in Kannada it becomes ni, ninu, nivu, or tau. So basically I and you words in Kannada are dominated by na and ni sounds. And in Elamite, you means ni or nu. Elamite is an language isolate. It's supposedly not related to any of the languages that we use today, or any of the older languages that we know. And again, we find the same word ni in Korean. So in Korean, for na, we have, for I, it has the same sound as na in Kannada. And for ni or you, it has the same sound ni in Korean. And Korean, it also has another word nehui, which may be close to nivu. And also a bunch of other Bantu languages or the African languages, Kwanyama, Zulu, Xhosa, and Swahili, they also have all this ni sounds for you. And coming to the another word tau, which is also means you, more like tau in Kannada. In Sanskrit, it has an equivalent word tvam, which also means thou or you. And also we find some mix-ups. In Kannada, for example, you means Ninu, and in Akkadian, Ninu means we. So the you in Kannada has got mixed with we in Akkadian. And also in Kannada, Nanu means I. In Arabic, Nahnu means we. So there is another mix-up. The Kannada I has supposedly become we in Arabic. So overall, it shows the Kannada language is related to many other languages in the world. So let's look at a more deeper relationship between two languages, Kannada and Sanskrit. So in English, I, me, self translates to na, nanu, anu, tanu in Kannada. And in Sanskrit, the same thing we can use mama, aham, and tanu to refer to I, me, self, and so on. And there is another sound close to tanu, which is tan, which is also used in Tamil and Kannada also, which refers to them, or himself, or myself, or something like that. But here in Sanskrit it means tan, which is like a tangent meaning, but somewhat the sound is related and the meaning is also related. Then in Kannada, you means ni, ninu, nivu, tau. In Sanskrit, it has words like bhavati, asi. Asi means you are. So this asi is included because it has this same a sound like aham. So they may be related. And the Kannada word tau is pretty closely related to the Sanskrit word tvam, which they both mean you or thou. And in Kannada, nanna and yanna means my, and nannadu and ennadu means mine. And they don't have any related sounding words in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, we call mama as my or something close, and madiya is mine. So in this my and mine, there is no connecting words between Sanskrit and Kannada. And in Kannada, our is namma or nammadu, yamma or emmadu. And in Sanskrit, it is asmakam. So maybe asmakam is related to this yammadu word. This anu, the a in anu sound becomes a, gets transformed to a in some of the words, related words like our, it becomes yammadu. And that may be related with the Sanskrit a sounding word asmakam, aham to asmakam. And in Kannada, your means ninna or ninnadu, nimma or nimmadu, and tamma or tammadu. And in Sanskrit, it's bhavata or vaha. And a related word, yours is tava in Sanskrit. And in Kannada, tamma is you, your. So these ta words may be related. Tava and tamma may be related. And coming to the next, we have this English word we, us, which translates to Kannada word now. And in old Sanskrit, in Vedic text, Rig Veda and all the Sanskrit, there is a word used nas for we, us, or to us. Another word used is vayam, but this word nas may be related with the Kannada word now. Actually, by considering all the set of words which start with say a sounding word, anu, enna, emma, and such that, and aham, asi, and asmakam, comparing the words, the Kannada and the Sanskrit words, we find that the Sanskrit aham, I equals aham, seems to be related with the Kannada I equals anu. Or also they may have a common, very ancient origin in Kannada, Sanskrit and Arabic, because this an or sound occurs in, say, Arabic and other Semitic languages also. So there may be a very ancient connection. And we also find that the Sanskrit word thou equals tvam. The tvam word for thou is deeply related to the Kannada thou, which means thou. So they're pretty sounds very close, similar, and they may have a common ancient origin for this Dravidian and the indo-iranian word. So they have we don't find this thou or tvam or tavu in other, say, Semitic words, but in Dravidian and Indo-Aryan we find that, so they may have a common ancient origin. And we also find that possibly this word nas, which stands for us in English, is likely derived from Kannada as, which means which is equal to now, which translates as navu. So the Sanskrit nas has come from possibly navu, from the Dravidian or the Kannada word navu, because most of the words I, me, you, mine are these have the na sounds, and Sanskrit, this is the only nas, is the only word which has this. Otherwise it has mama, m words and the ah words more, and tvam. It doesn't have na anywhere, and this is the only time we encounter, so possibly it's derived from Kannada. Then we move on to the word that and this. So in Kannada, a is that and e is this, and we also use adu, idu. So adu is that and idu is this. So in Bengali and Saraiki is one language spoken by the Punjabi region in Pakistan. So they have pretty close. The a has become o. O means that, and e has remained as e, this. E has become o, e in Bengali and Saraiki, so that, this. And in Bhojpuri, the o has become and e. The e has remained, one h has been added sound. So e becomes that and this in Bhojpuri. In Punjabi it becomes uha and iha, and in Hindi it becomes waha and yaha. So possibly we can see that the Hindi derivation follows through like what is ordered. A becomes Bhojpuri or Saraiki. This a becomes e and uha, iha, and from uha to it may have become waha and iha to yaha. So this ordering may show how the Hindi word wah, yaha has been derived from the Dravidian a and e sounds. Also in Kannada, iha means being or existing here in this world or something like that. So they may be related. But the Sanskrit has different words. In Sanskrit, this idam is there, which is related to the e word, e sound. But for this, but Sanskrit word for that is pretty similar to the English word that, which is tat. So in Sanskrit, tat means that in English. So they are pretty close. So it's possible that the Sanskrit has got this word tat or that from Indo-European, and this idam from Dravidian, which means this. And there are many other Indian languages also which have this e sound. And possibly the Sanskrit has got from this Dravidian root e. It's got a mixed up tat from Indo-European and idam from Dravidian. Also, we note that the Mid-Persian and the Persian languages have pretty similar words close to this Dravidian a and e. The Pali also stands out. In Pali, so the asu may be close to the word adu, which means that. But for idu, it has a different word, I am. So possibly tat and I am are coming from the European root, and idam is coming from Dravidian root. So in many other languages we find that, for example, in Soto also we have this a and e sounds for that and this. And there are many other African languages, Rwanda for example, aho and iki, or Luganda language, oyo and ino. And even in Elamite we find that the adu or that is getting translated as akka, and idu or this is getting translated as he. So they may be all close, except Sanskrit and Pali. Most of the other languages listed here have the same sounding words, a and e, close to that. And in Hebrew also, that means ahu, which is close to the sound adu, which means that in Kannada. But in Arabic, there is a mix-up. In Arabic, this means hada, which is a masculine word. M means masculine here. Here also M means masculine. And it's a mix-up because in Kannada, adu means that. Here, hada means this in Arabic. So there is a sound mix-up here. Also, we can find that there are interesting pairs associated in Sanskrit with the word that, this, there, here, and you, I. For example, we notice that you and I is tvam and aham. There and here is tatra, atra. And that and this is tat and I am. So this ta and pairs, they may be forming an interesting pair. It may show something, we don't know. It's just an interesting pair we noticed. And similar ta and a pairs happen in Kannada also. For example, the small sister and big sister are called as tangi and akka. Small and big brother are called as tamma and anna. And the self in third person and the first person we saw in the first slide, we can say it as tanu and anu. So tanu is the third person self, anu is the first person self. So they also form this pair ta and a. So there may be something here, some interesting connection. We'll explore that later. So now let's move on to this word there and here. In English, there means atta, alli or akade in Kannada. And here means itta, illi or ikade. So in Saraiki and Punjabi, there and here becomes utte and itte. So this itte is pretty close to this itta in Dravidian or Kannada, itta. In Sindhi, one H sound is added. So utte itte has become hute hite. And in Bhojpuri, it has become uha iha. So this TT gets cancelled, the U and I sound remains, and uha and here. Utte has become uha, itte has become iha. And in Elamite, they have close sounding words, ah and ima. Ah is there, atta, it's like atta. And ima is like illi or ikade. So it's ah and e sounds are there. But in Hindi, it becomes vaha and yaha. So possibly it's like the derivation goes like Kannada, Punjabi, Bhojpuri to Hindi. So Hindi's word may be derived like this. So the Kannada word atta, which means there, becomes utte in Punjabi and uha in Bhojpuri and vaha. Uha can become vaha transformation. And similarly for here word itta, which is Kannada, becomes itte in Punjabi and iha in Bhojpuri, and iha becomes yaha in Hindi. So like we saw for the word this and that, the Bengali words are pretty close to the Kannada Dravidian words. The a has become o here, so atta, akade has become okhane, and ikade has become ikhane. So it's pretty close, and Mid-Persian and Persian are still pretty close, like we saw in the this and that words. They have these a and e sounds. So in Pali, there is a mix-up. In Pali, this here word is atta. Here means atta in Pali, but in Kannada, there means atta. So there is a sound mix-up. And they have added this T, extra T for atta to get the word there. So it's more like the there in Hindi. So, but in this atta, which means here, has got mixed up with Kannada. And these Pali words are pretty close to this Sanskrit words tatra and atra. Tatra is there, which almost sounds like the English word there, tatra. And atra is here, which also sounds like the English word here. So tatra, atra, there and here. The Sanskrit words are pretty close to this present English words there and here. And in Kannada, this word near means hatra or attira, so which may be close to this Sanskrit word atra. So here, so it's possible that the here word here are related. Atra and Hatra. Kannada word Hatra for near may be related to this Sanskrit word Atra, which means here. So in Kannada, the words for far and near are Dura, Hatra, and in Tamil it's Tura and Arukil. So possibly this there is related, this Kannada, this English word there, or the Sanskrit word Tatra, may be related to this words, Kannada, Tamil words for far, which is Dura or Tura. So Tura can become there, and Hatra can become here. I mean, close sounding. There may be some transformation relationship between them. So that's all. So there are quite a bit of interesting relationships which we can find with different sounds of the different languages. So we will have to look at it more closely using some machine learning or some other tools. Thank you.